Hi there, Chargers. It's Mrs. Boyd here. Today we're going to talk about dilations. A dilation, if you think about getting your eyes dilated, it means it increases the size of your pupil, right? So the dilation of an image is going to increase or decrease the size of your image. It's going to be similar in that all of the sides will be proportional to the original, but it will look different. So let's start with reductions. That means we're going to take an image, an original image, and make it smaller. This R that's listed right here, that is our dilation coefficient. And when R is less than 1, that is the important part, R is less than 1, that means it's a reduction. So pre-image is what we're starting with. So let's write the coordinates for our pre-image down. A is at -3 and 3. B is at -3 and -3. And C is at 3, -3. 3 right, 3 down. Our R, the dilation coefficient, is 1/3. So it's less than 1, so that means our new image is going to be smaller. So what I'm going to do is take this R and multiply it by the X and the Y value for each point. So -3 times 1/3 is the same as -3 dividing by 3, and that's -1. 3 divided by 3 is +1. For the B point, -3 divided by 3 is -1. -3 divided by 3 is -1 again. And then for the C, 3 divided by 3 is 1. -3 divided by 3 is -1. Let's plot points for our new image. Let me write these down. This is A and B and C. And this was A and B and C. Should have written those better. Sorry about that. So the new A is at -1, 1. And we're going to call that A prime with a 1 in the exponent position. B is at -1, -1. And that's B prime with a 1 in the exponent position. The new C is at 1, -1, and that's C prime. We connect these points and get a triangle that is 1/3 the size of the original. Hot dog. All right, let's do another one. Let's write down the points for our pre-image. Point A is at 1, 2, 3, -3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Point B is at -3, -3. And point C is at -3. Oh, nope, just kidding. It's at 2, -3. Our R, our dilation coefficient, is 1/2. So that means our image is going to get smaller. And we do the same thing we did. We multiply each point, X and Y value, by this dilation coefficient. So the new A, -3 divided by 2 is -3/2, or -1.5. And 4 divided by 2 is 2. The new B, -3 divided by 2 is -1.5. And the same for the Y value. And for C, 2 divided by 2 is 1, and we've got -1.5 again. Let's plot these new points. A is -1.5 and 2 up. So that's A prime. B is -1.5, 1.5 down. That's B prime. And C is 1, and then 1.5 down. That's C prime. We connect these points and we get an image that's half the size of the original. All right, if you haven't already, Pause here and try the next one on your own. Same idea, just a rectangle this time. To write our points down for D, we've got -3, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 up. Point E is 3 right and 4 up. Point F is 3 right and 4 down. And point G is 3 left, 4 down. All right, our dilation coefficient, again, is less than 1, so this image will be smaller. So we'll multiply the x and the y value of each point by 3 over 4. So for D prime, we've got -3 times 3 over 4. That's -9 over 4. And that is -2 1/4. Let's write it that way. You know how I hate mixed numbers, but this time they're okay. 4 over 1 times 3 over 4. The 4's cancel, and we're left with just 3. These are all going to look really similar, just with negatives or not. +3 times 3/4 now is +2 1/4 and +3. F prime, +2 1/4, -3. And G prime, -2 1/4, -3. Let's plot our points. D prime, -2 1/4, and 3 up. That's D prime. E prime, +2 1/4, and 3 up. F prime and G prime. When we connect these, oh so gingerly. Yours are, oh, that one's awful. Yours are hopefully better than mine. There we go. And that's the new rectangle. All right, let's flip it over and work on the next side. Hopefully yours is going to work a little bit better than mine. There we go. And now we're going to look at enlargement. That means our coefficient of dilation is greater than 1. So we'll start with a small image and move to a bigger one. Let's write down our coordinate points again. Point D is at -1, 1. E is at -1, -1. F is at 1, -1. We're going to multiply the x and the y portion of each of these by our dilation coefficient and get a new image. So D prime will be -1 times 3 is -3. 1 times 3 is 3. E prime, -3, -3. F prime, 3, -3. Let's graph what we have. -3, +3 for D prime. -3, -3 for E prime. And +3, -3 for F prime. We connect these points and make a new triangle that's bigger than the original. Next one. I think you could probably try this on your own if you wanted. I understand if you want to wait. We'll have H, I, and J. Point H is at -1, -1. I is at 2, -1. J is at 2, +1. We're multiplying each of these values by 2.5. So our H prime is going to be -2.5, -2.5. I prime is going to be 5. 2.5 times 2 is 5. And then -2.5. J prime will be 5 again, and 2.5. Let's graph what we have. -2.5, -2.5, about there for H prime. I, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, -2.5. And that's I prime. J prime, 2.5 in the other direction. And now we can connect these points. And we've got a new shape. All right, now, if you didn't try that second one on your own, now is your chance. Do this one on your own, and then come check your work. All right, let's write down the coordinates of K, L, M, N. K is at -1, 2. L is at 1, 2. M is at 1, -1/2. And N is at -1, -1/2. So we can multiply and then find the coordinates for our new image. K prime is at -2, 4. L prime is at 2, 4. M prime is at 2, -1. And N prime is at -2, -1. Let's plot our points. -2, 4 is K prime. 2, 4 is L prime. 2, -1 is M prime. And -2, -1 is N prime. We connect these points together and we have a new shape. All right, I hope this makes all sorts of sense to you. It's pretty straightforward. Let me know if you need any help, and I'll see you soon.